Hi everybody, it's John back again with a model final reveal video. You're probably looking at the screen and thinking to yourself, where's the kit? Well, the reason why the kit's not in view at the moment is because this is the comparison build that I did with the Series 1 first tooling of the Airfix Gloster Gladiator and the Series, well, is it a Series 1 or a Series 2 kit? Of the new tooling Hornby released Gloster Gladiator Mark 1 and 2. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the first kit in. I'm not going to ask you which one do you think is which because it's going to be blatantly obvious. The kits are so far removed from one another. But I'm just going to bring the first kit into view now. This is the first tooling of the Airfix Gloster Gladiator. This is the 1956. Yeah, this is the original 1956 kit of the Gloster Gladiator. I had a little bit of an issue with the decal, which goes on the top of the wing. There's a slight gap in the decal, and I probably will put a blob of paint in there just to hide that. But the I think I'm going to need Lufthansa gloss blue to do that. I did a couple of things on this particular kit which I wouldn't normally have done years ago, but I did do them because I'm starting to get used to rigging biplanes now, and I don't think I have an issue with rigging them too much, thanks to my old mate in Birmingham. But this kit is rigged, and it is rigged according to photographs and images of modern Gladiators that are in the Shuttleworth collection flying at Duxford in the airshow circuits, and the rigging pattern on the Gladiator is actually quite complicated. There's even two rigging lines linking the upper and lower elevators there. Sorry, ailerons on the upper and lower wings on each side. And it is quite a complicated kit to rig. There's even two lines at the back there, which you can see, which rigged the tailplane to the tail fin. And that was quite nicely finished as well. So I actually think I did a pretty good job. I was quite surprised. The kit has come out quite nice. The colours I chose to paint this particular kit are just standard G11 gloss silver. I actually think it's sort of come out quite nice. And the collector ring there is just standard copper, Humbrol copper coat. I just want to state that this kit, I remember seeing somebody on the original inbox review of this kit, comparison build, did say that he built the Airfix Gladiator before, and he can remember having a full cockpit interior with a seat and pilot. It wasn't just a head and neck sticking out. Well, this particular guy in here is just a head and neck sticking out. I'm hoping you can see him in there. But you can see the base of the cockpit is just a flat plane. I painted it black to try and darken it down. But basically the pilot in this kit is just a head and a neck. Can you see him a bit better there? There is no more to that pilot than a head and a neck. Paint scheme on this kit was quite easy to paint. Even the canopy frame was quite nice. And the propeller goes round very freely indeed. It blows around quite nicely. Now then, before I show you the second kit, which is the second tooling of the Airfix Gladiator, I do need to explain that I did make a mistake with the rigging on this kit. The bracing wires between the fin and the tailplane, I got them around the wrong way on the new tooling kit. But I didn't realise I got them around the wrong way until after I painted the damn thing. And I'm not going to go through all the rigmarole of taking all that away and painting it again, and you know, I just can't be arsed with it. So I've just basically done it, and that's it, finished, done and dusted. So let's just take that one out of the equation, bring this kit into the equation. The difference between the old tool and the new tool Gladiator is phenomenal. It's in a different league. The accuracy of the kit is superb. Even the undercarriage spread on the new tool Gladiator is absolutely spot on with new kits, with new aircraft, with real aircraft. It's precisely spot on. The major difference between the obviously in the quality of the kit, but the major difference that I found with this particular aircraft, there are two actually. It has a completely detailed, fully comprehensive canopy and enclosed, cockpit. Unfortunately, you can't see it very well from there, which is a bit of a shame. I'm hoping it's going to come into view a little bit better now. Maybe I can get it a little bit better. No, it's not going to have it. You can't see it very well, but you will be able to see the interior of the cockpit quite nicely in the build progress video when I show you. It's also got a fully detailed engine. The Mercury engine on this aircraft is completely, fully reproduced. And even the build, the way in which the engine cowlings and everything go together is totally different on the new toolkit to the old toolkit. And the old toolkit, in my opinion, is well worth buying. It is, if it's not the best Airfix, the best 72nd scale Gladiator on the market, it's going to take a pretty special kit to beat it. Any build issues with these two kits? No, not really. I didn't have any build issues. The wings jigged perfectly. In actual fact, jigging the new toolkit was easier than jigging the old toolkit, as the interplane struts have special sections that you have to cut away that keep the struts in the correct position so that you can line the wings up, and the kit just flies together. It's even got a starting handle, which is quite nice. Can you see that starting handle on the front? I think that's to turn the engine over and prime it prior to ignition. And also the camo pattern chosen for this particular aircraft is a 1940 Battle of Britain era camouflage pattern, but it was also one that was utilised in the French campaign, with the underside in black and white, tailplane in silver, upper surfaces of the wings in silver, as you can see. And it is a build straight out the box, no issues whatsoever. The transfers went on like a dream. Transfers went on pretty well with the old toolkit as well, even though the kit was about 25 years old. But they probably would have gone on an awful lot better than, say, an early release bag kit edition of this kit, of the first tooling, because the transfers were that much newer. So the difference between the models, well, I still think the original Gladiator from Airfix isn't a terrible model. It's not brilliant, but when you consider that it was released in the late 50s, the only competition that the Airfix Gladiator had was the Frog kit, and the Frog kit was actually very nice. Compared with the Airfix kit, the Frog kit was it was leaps and bounds ahead. But I'm going to be honest with you, the new tool Gladiator from the Airfix Hornby Productions is streaks ahead of the Frog kit. It's just superb. It's a shame we can't get these two in. Can I get them in? Can I get them in like that? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. They're not having it, are they? Oh well, they're not having it. It's a shame, because I would like to have got them both in together, but you can't get them both in together. It's a shame. There we go. So the two models, yeah, I would thoroughly recommend the new tool Gladiator. I think the new tool Gladiator is, if not the best 72nd scale Gladiator on the market. It would take a special kit to beat it. It's a very enjoyable build, very comprehensively detailed. It's just a nice kit with optional canopy parts to enable you to have the canopy in the open or the closed position. There are also two different versions of the Gladiator new tool on offer. Well, there's actually three, because they do a Finnish Air Force one with skis as well. But the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 Gladiator are two separate boxings of the same moulding, obviously. And the Mark 1 is definitely rigged different to the Mark 2. The Mark 2, believe it or not, is actually the Silver Series 1 Gladiator, and the Mark 1 is the new toolkit. And the way in which you can tell is the way they're rigged. The Mark 1 had the old style radio set, and it has an aerial behind the cockpit there. Can you see it? And that has a radio mast that goes to the first radio spot there, and then goes to another mast in the middle of the upper wing. And that's how you can tell a Mark 1 from a Mark 2 very, very quickly. The Mark 2 did away with the radio mast behind the canopy, and the aerial was actually run inside the fuselage, in through the tail and into the rear section of the tail fin. Because the airframe was tubular, it actually helped with amplifying the signals out from the radio set, and that was why it was utilised in that manner in the Mark II. But between the two aircraft there is no difference. The engine's exactly the same, most of the airframe is identical. The major differences is in the avionics, the gun fits, even the machine guns. So it still had 4 303-inch Browning machine guns in both variants. So that's the comparison build. Would I recommend both kits? I don't think I would recommend the Series 1 kit. It is a fun build. If you wanted to build it for nostalgia reasons, go ahead. It is a fun build. Not a very good kit. But the new Tool Airfix kit is absolutely superb, and I would recommend it to anyone. It's not a difficult build. It does look like it's going to be a complicated build. The rigging on the Gladiator isn't an easy rig. You might be able to see the rigging a bit easier on this particular model, because the rigging is a different colour to the rest of the airframe, but you can see the way the rigging went together. It's not an easy rig. There's quite a lot of rigging wires there. Well, actually you can see the interior now, the cockpit instrument panel there. You can see quite a bit of that. I was very impressed with the way this kit went together. It went together quite nicely, and it didn't pose any problems either. So that's this video finished. I hope this video has been of some use. The comparison build. It was a fun project to do. It took an awful lot longer to build the new Tool Gladiator than it did the old Tool Gladiator. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope all your modelling projects are running smooth. If there's any questions, queries, comments, just pop them in the comments slip. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye for now.